Does it so happen that you hate SETT and you also hate those videos where people are smurfing on low elo players? Today I faced the rank 1 Geishu SETT player, and he was down with 70 CS and 6 deaths into Swain. Now, the runes are very important that you copy paste them, and if anything, you could go Ghost if you choose, and you could switch Overgrowth to Bomb Plating. They have quite a lot of burst, so I kept it, but I think that's something you could switch off. Now, anything else must remain. So, I have 3% speed runes. Let's move the chat a bit away. Oh, but my camera also like covers it a little bit, so I'm gonna like move my mouse on it. Summon 80. Mana Flow Band, Celerity must to have, Scorch must to have, Bomb Plating, Overgrowth. Oh my god, this stays a little bit in the way as well. But I had basically the shard, right? So I had the shard, the 3% speed shard, 8 ability haste, and the laning phase already started out. Now let's explain things step by step. I should then, by the way, walk into this bush instead of warding it, but I was tabbing, so normally it should be here. Later on you'll have to ward it, whatever, but normally you have to be there, so that was a slight mistake on my part, but I think it can be forgiven. Now, I even Q-checked it and warded it, just in case. Now, SETT usually E starts, but he W started and he does run the more cheesy setup, you know, generic fleet work foot. Other rules are pretty generic, and he W started here because he had no E angle. Now, he did basically zone me off of like 1 million, actually like 2 millions, right? Of XP, but because he does play D-Shield, he does get chunked pretty hard here, and I do actually like tag him a little bit with my Q. He does hit me, but I messed up my spacing a little bit there, so that's on me. But remember, I'm facing actually the best set out there, so he will actually have like a pretty good spacing as well, so it's not one of those you know, videos where people are just smurfing on silver players and they're like, look, this is a guide. This is how we do stuff, you know, this is how we beat our matchup, right? It's not really it, but I think I only went for 1 potion, if I'm correct. You can go for 2 potions if you're insecure, but you don't really need 2 potions, so up to you. Poke him a little bit, he's fishing for an all-in, but he can gap close, and look what's gonna happen. He's gonna try to Q at level 3, basically like a minion with fleet Q. But because we have mobility runes, he exactly does not reach me. He's trying to hard force, but again, to no avail. I didn't pull him, so that was a slight mistake on my part. I should have been pulled, but I misplaced a little bit my W. I think it would be regardless inside of it, but oh well. Connect another one. Pull space is E, very important, because he could pull me in a awkward range. And for now, we keep on the pokes. Now, he does Ghost, which is a little bit weird, because my abilities are coming. And I W to zone. He's slowed, I'm stunned, notably, it's fine. He sidesteps my E, so we can see, you know, that I'm actually facing someone that, you know, knows how to play his champion. Now, what we have to be very careful with, once he has flash, he could flash E, right, flash E, which, you know, sucks and big. And he does lie here. I possibly didn't have to flash there, but just for safety I did do so. I mean, this fist is hurting pretty hard, guys. I ain't gonna lie, because it was the second punch, and it also was like an empowered basic attack. Last stand on. Maybe it was unnecessary, but you know, maybe if he hits that basic off, he heals a little bit with Doran's Blade and maybe gets a swing off. Now, in hindsight, potentially that flash wasn't needed, but like in game itself, it looked very risky, so that's my opinion. Now, buy the exact same things. If you don't have a lot of money, just buy boots and Sapphire Crystal. Buy the exact same things, exact same things. It's must to have that you buy the exact same things. So look at my mobility though. So the reason why I can space him so well, I have 369 mobility without 412, and he has 400C, because I had boots and because I had basically like these speed runes. He is trying to go for the SETT cheese classic, so he does have his Q. It provides him 30% mobility, right? Now, he also has his fleet work food 20% mobility, so all of that mobility, you see, and he's also walking backwards, bluffing that he wants to back off, then he turns back, so there's like a little bit of mind game to watch out for. And as soon as he uses his Q, you can see his mobility skyrockets to 485, but don't worry, it's just a burst of mobility. And as we can see, he exactly doesn't get to connect his E because we have mobility. So mobility is a must to have, because that's the way you actually avoid his gap closing ability. His basically E. So you really gotta play super well. And you know what's a fun fact? He armed me twice under tower, and he didn't kill me. So even even with cheesing, he didn't manage to kill me. And one time I even killed him. So you can realize like how much aura did I have. Again, the game's a little bit slower paced. The wave is in a good spot. We are in a happy spot because we get to trade into him and he can trade back. He's spacing my Q quite well. And, you know, notably what's interesting is that we do get a nice cheese trade on him and we force an all-in. As soon as he gives up every single of his abilities, long cooldown 16 seconds, long cooldown 18 seconds, right? So we do our best to chase him down. And, you know, imagine if I even got strong-sided by my jungle. I missed my E sadly. And there's no lethal damage. So that's a bit of a bummer. Maybe if I held into my E, he would sidestep a little bit more, who knows. But I did miss it, so it's not the end of the world. Still, we're gonna speed the game up a little bit because this is just a wave clear because he's forced to recall. There's not a lot to over-explain about this now. What we can do is just to insta-wipe the wave. Meantime, Blood is trying too hard. So, again, let's check this back. I'm kinda low on HP, I know, but he doesn't have his facilities, his Flash Ghost, and he doesn't have 6 yet, right? He's behind with XP. Now, I know that he will force this all in, but because my R heals me quite consistently during the stun duration, so for example per second, this drains 21 health, right? And I have bomb plating up in a, you know, in a second actually, so I will have it up for the fight. So this bomb plating is 39 per plate, and you have 3 of those, right? Now, I intentionally eat his E, and I know it looks bad, but it would be better if I honestly art and I did the better order, but it's fine. I walk, keep walking, and I'm gonna recast my R. So even though I didn't have mana for my basically Q, I could just still walk forward and just recast my R once it's up. So that way I will be able to kill him, and because I have insane wave clear, and you don't have to be this greedy. I was quite greedy here and there now and then, so it's your choice how greedy do you wanna go. You could also recall, which again is totally fine. But even it seems like the Jace wasn't even close. Jace wasn't even that close. And we do pick up actually the plate, we do pick up the kill, and we go complete the gen. So those chapter into plate at seal caps. If you're insecure, you can also plate the seal caps rush. Won't really recommend it, but you can do it. Stack farm him a little bit. And again, the wave is in a good state, so this is where he gets pretty hard fucked because he has no HP, he has no D shield, and I pull the wave. I don't play for plates currently, I pull the wave. Now, if I had Demolish, I should bang go Demolish honestly, and I could bang get even more plate value, like arguably this plate would be down, but oh well, you know, it's definitely a matchup where you don't need overgrowth, it's just outside of lane, it's pretty much nice into their burst if it makes sense, so ups and downs, but I would argue that if you can get like enough amount of gold out of Demolish to buy a Ruby Crystal, that could justify, if you think about it, it could justify honestly the fact that they don't have overgrowth, so, or even more, depends how much you can pressure. If you can get the full item, that does more beside like giving HP, you know, so it's interesting nonetheless because like so far he's getting choked out of CS because he was also forced to recall on no HP. And at this point he's getting progressively more and more top walked. So then in here it can also suck that as far as you can see he is 24 CS to that sin and he has no way of forcing an all-in into me unless he arcs me under tower, which he did twice, but he died once. And the other time I escaped regardless. So it's kind of stupid, I know. It's kind of stupid. It's so stupid, but it just works. The only way he can kill you is if he flashes you under towers, that's what you gotta be a bit cautious with, but he can't really, like, look, and we don't even die. And look, I'm a bit mind gamey. This is what they see, here I am. Look at this insane mind game. This is what they see, right? I'm here, Malphite is coming and trash. And look, they get caught, I heal, and they can't even kill me. Malphite targets the JC boy. JC is even forced to flash. And we can't really get Jace killed, but this should be satisfying enough. And as far as you guys noticed, I would say a Demolish would be nice. You know, if you're winning this hard, but it's totally fine, man. Connect C? Nope, this wasn't it. She sidestepped both. Maybe I could then toss a W in between, honestly, to confuse her, but it's fine. Toss the W in. Picking up one minion, but probably I could IQ it as well. 2 points in E because we are fighting quite a lot. I think WMX is a bit overrated because if you get to like trade quite often with E, like why the fuck wouldn't you just put some points in your E, no? I feel like in more fight heavy lanes, I think some points in E is not bad, honestly. Like W impacts the map. I don't say it's bad, but you know, if you're fisting, you know, like I kind of like sometimes just why put points in my WE, you know. A little bit of range, and now I'm fishing for his recall. And again, like now, because I'm in such a good spot, and you know, I think he's perma typing as well, probably, or something. I went for a W because it looked like, based on his body language, that he is. He's looking for, again, like a nice hour. And I think the Void Grab stunned me, I'm not even kidding. Oh no, it was a minion, and look, he arsed me again on their tower. Guess what happens? He dies. So even when he arsed me on their tower, it doesn't work out for him regardless. So even with the cheese, he cannot beat me. A throw. I didn't even imagine that he was in range, but it catch me. It catch me with the edge. It was on me. It catch me. Well played. So we move on, and we do TP top lane right now. Yeah, I guess you'd like, we are just like fucking. We are just like fucking him up without building Frozen Heart or something. Cause Hassam goes Frozen Heart, you don't necessarily need to go that defensive. Cause in my opinion, you need to deal damage to carry if it makes sense. Like often even on tanks, I build the highest damaging, you know, tank item, whatever. Cause you have to be fucking impactful. Like these days. I barely go Rally because it deals no damage, and it depends, because like if your teammates are reliable, you could justify it, but you don't deal damage, man. And like Xanye can be kinda okay in some games, but dude, like it's often very preferred by me, like something like this and Driftmaker or Raw Driftmaker or something with damage, you know, like Leandri. Low damage options are questionable just because like they don't provide enough pressure sometimes to like kill someone, or you know, you name it, but plated is pretty much enough against, you know, this SETT and this Chase, both of them, right? So in here we're just basically looking for W's in mid lane. That's what I was looking at in game. Then notably, you know, we are also like chunking his tower. I have a nice amount of vision here in case they are multi-collapsing on me. There's also like a Yone pressuring the side lane, no Bork yet on him. And at this point, yeah, at this point it's just over. Like, I'm just beating the death horse currently. I just basically take on FF, I think, if I'm correct, at 15. And he couldn't even arm me, because I killed him with a Q. So close up your Q does more. Just waiting for Malphite, but at this point the game is over. TFF at like 15. GG, well played. Now, that's it for now, guys. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. If you like the video, please aim to like it, and if you want to see more educative top lane content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps in the long run, just to sort of, you know, just to sort of get things going.